Here's a script designed for your video. It takes the mystical concept of the Akashic records and grounds it in a mix of Hermetic philosophy and modern technological metaphors, making it accessible and empowering. There is a legend that has existed for thousands of years. It spans across cultures, across religions, and across centuries. It is the legend of the Great Library. The Theosophists called it the Akashic Records. The ancient seers called it the Book of Life. The psychologist Carl Jung called it the collective unconscious. Whatever you call it, the idea is the same. There is a place, a non-physical dimension, where every thought, every action, every feeling, and every event that has ever happened in the history of the universe is recorded. It is the cosmic hard drive. And the legend says that if you can just find the key, if you can just figure out how to walk through those doors, you can know anything. You can see your past lives. You can understand your future. You can uncover the secrets of why you are here. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? It sounds like the ultimate cheat code for life. And so, we have millions of people trying to access the records. We do guided meditations where we visualize climbing a golden staircase. We visualize meeting a guardian who hands us a dusty book. We try so hard to go there, but I want to offer you a different perspective today. A perspective that comes from the ancient Hermetic tradition, and one that might save you a lot of time and frustration. What if I told you that you don't need to go anywhere? What if I told you that the reason you struggle to access the Akashic records is because you are treating them like a place outside of you, when in reality, they are the very fabric of you? We need to upgrade our definition. We need to look beyond the library metaphor and talk about something much bigger. Something much more immediate. We need to talk about the universal mind. Imagine, just for a second, the internet. Right now, holding your phone or sitting at your computer, you have access to almost all the information in the world. You have access to every recipe, every historical fact, every song, every map. But, and this is the crucial part, you do not have the entire internet stored inside your phone's memory chip. If you did, your phone would explode. It would melt. Instead, your phone is a receiver. It is a terminal connected to the cloud. The information isn't in the phone. It is accessible by the phone through a signal. The ancient Hermetic masters taught the first principle. The all is mind. They believed that the entire universe is mental. It is one single, infinite, living consciousness. We are not separate from this consciousness. We are like the smartphones. We are individual terminals, individual points of focus, connected to the massive, infinite Wi-Fi of the universal mind. The Akashic records aren't a dusty library in the sky. They are the cloud. And you are already logged in. You have full bars of signal. You have the password. So why can't you hear it? Why can't you download the answer to, what is my life purpose? Or, which decision should I make? The problem isn't the connection. The problem is the noise. Think about your mind right now. It is loud. It is incredibly, relentlessly loud. What am I going to eat for dinner? Did I lock the door? Why did she look at me like that? I'm worried about money. I need to text him back. This is static. Imagine trying to download a massive file while you have 1,000 browser tabs open, playing loud music, and running 5 different apps at once. The system is clogged. The bandwidth is occupied by the trivialities of the ego, the universal mind, that voice of wisdom, that access to the records, speaks in a frequency that is very subtle. It doesn't shout. It doesn't argue. It whispers. And it usually whispers in the language of intuition, not the language of words. So how do we clear the cache? How do we actually hack this connection to get the answers we need? I want to give you a method. It's not a ritual with candles and crystals, though those are fine if they help you focus. This is a mechanical adjustment of your mental state. Step 1 is the silence. And I don't just mean a quiet room, I mean internal silence. Most of us try to force an answer. We sit down to meditate and we practically scream at the universe, "Show me my future." That is the energy of desperation. Desperation is noise. Desperation creates resistance. To access the universal mind, you have to enter a state of receptivity. You have to be the empty cup. The best time to do this is actually right when you wake up, or right as you are falling asleep. That twilight zone, that hypnagogic state where your logical, skeptical, loud ego is a little bit groggy. That is when the firewall is down. In that space, just breathe. Don't ask for anything yet. Just feel the presence of the silence. Remind yourself, I am connected to the All. I am a thought inside the mind of God. Feel the safety of that. Step 2 is the inquiry. Once you are calm, you drop a question into the silence. But, and this is important, don't ask it like a beggar. Ask it like a Google search. When you type something into Google, you don't beg. You don't worry. Oh no, what if Google doesn't know? You just type it and you hit enter. You have total confidence that the system will retrieve the result. Do the same thing. What do I need to know about this career change? Or, what is the root cause of this anxiety? Drop the question like a pebble into a still pond, and then let it go. Stop thinking about it. Step 3 is the download. This is where everyone gets tripped up. We expect a booming voice. We expect a vision of a burning bush. We expect to see a movie play behind our eyelids. Occasionally, that happens. But 99% of the time, the universal mind communicates through ideas and feelings. It comes as a sudden knowing. It comes as a hunch. It comes as a subtle pull toward a certain book or a sudden urge to call a certain person. You might be washing the dishes 3 hours later, and suddenly, pop, the answer lands in your head. It feels like your own thought, but it has a different quality. It feels lighter. It feels lighter. It doesn't have the heavy, anxious texture of your normal obsessive thinking. This is the Akashic record opening, but here is the catch. The moment that quiet, gentle answer arrives, your ego will rush in. The ego will say, "That's just your imagination. That's too simple. That can't be right." The ego wants complexity. The ego wants a roadmap with 20 steps. The universal mind usually says something simple like wait, or go left, or create. You have to learn to trust the first flash. That first, instant impression before your analytical mind kicks in and tries to dissect it. That is the download. Now, let's go deeper. Because the title of this video is Beyond the Akashic Records. What is beyond the records? If you treat this practice only as a way to get data, to find out who you were in 1850, or to predict the stock market, you are missing the point. You are treating the universal mind like a vending machine. The ultimate goal of Hermeticism, and the ultimate goal of accessing this state, is not just to get information, it is to get integration. It is to realize that the separation between you and the universe is a total illusion. When you start to trust your intuition, when you start to live your life guided by these subtle whispers, you stop feeling so alone. You stop feeling like a tiny, isolated ego fighting against a hostile world. You start to move with the flow of the river because you are the river. People who are geniuses, the Mozarts, the Einsteins, the Teslas, they weren't just smarter than us. They had thinner walls. They knew how to get out of their own way. They knew how to log into the cloud and let the symphony or the equation or the invention flow through them. Tesla famously said, "My brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration." He wasn't claiming to be the source. He was claiming to be the antenna. You have that same capacity. It is your birthright. You don't need to pay a psychic $500 to tell you who you are. The record of who you are is vibrating in every cell of your body right now. So here is my challenge to you. Stop trying to storm the gates of the great library. Stop trying to force the door open. Instead, realize the library is already inside you. For the next few days, play a game with the universe. Ask a question in the morning. Something simple. Show me what I need to focus on today. Then, let it go. And pay attention. Pay attention to the song that comes on the radio. Pay attention to the random conversation you overhear in the coffee shop. Pay attention to the sudden idea that feels like a light bulb turning on. That is the universal mind winking at you. That is the data stream. The more you trust it, the stronger the signal gets. The more you act on it, the more bandwidth you are given. We are living in a time of great noise. The world is screaming for your attention. The news, the social media, the fears, it is a deafening roar. But underneath that roar, there is a silence. And in that silence, there is a wisdom that has been waiting for you for a very long time. It knows everything you have ever been, and everything you are capable of becoming. It is the universal mind, and it is not out there. It is right here. Tune in, listen, and let the download begin.